Hey all, so on Sunday I was talking to a subscriber and friend, Ben, who said to me, you should do more videos before the game than you do. You did one against the Arsenal, you should do that more often because actually it was quite useful. And I thought, thanks Ben, that's a really nice thing to say. So I'm not sure whether this is a good thing to do or not. But anyway, here goes, here's how I'm feeling. So, I don't think there is probably been a bigger game this season for Ange than this one. I think that having lost the way we did in the North London derby, and I think, you know, the scoreline papers over the cracks for me, he really needs to get a result here. Chelsea have not been through a worse period than this since before the Russian rubles come along, right? So they are a team that's really going through it and have been, you know, going through a really poor period of football and in a bad position in the league, losing in both cups and so on. So Poch is under massive threat as well. But for the issue with Ange isn't around the ownership or anything like that. I think they'll be more than happy with him. But I think there is a bit of a tide turning. I've seen a lot of people questioning him and all the rest of it. And so I can see this being a really big game for him. Stamford Bridge is not a happy hunting ground for us. And bear in mind, after this one, we've got Liverpool at Anfield, which is another really difficult place to go and get any kind of result. And we've had a really bad run there as well. So these two games are really difficult, and I think it'll put a lot of pressure on him. Now, I don't think that necessarily means that he's going to lose his job or anything like that, because, you know, since when did fan power actually count for anything? So I don't think that's an issue. But in terms of losing the fans, I think it could be difficult for him. Now, I might be overreacting, but it's just some of the stuff I'm seeing, and maybe sometimes you just see more reactionary stuff than you do kind of normal stuff. And like I've said before, I like to try to be level-headed myself. But for me, I'd still stick with Ange. I don't see that we've got any other options. I don't see that there's anybody else out there who's going to do a better job at this moment in time, specifically with these owners. The owners are the issue, right? You know, they're the ones who hold the purse strings, and they do spend money, but have they spent money in the right way? That's been the issue. Are they prepared to spend 100 million as Arsenal did for Declan Rice? Obviously not. That's not what they're going to do. I'm not sure what we can do to actually change that. Probably nothing. But so I'm not sure that any manager will really be able to do anything along the lines of what Arteta's done and Klopp's done and Pep's done in those clubs, because they've all done it spending lots and lots of money, and this owners are just not going to do that. So I don't feel there's a reason that we would need to change Ange. I think we need someone who is honest, who does see it from a fan's perspective, who does have a winning mentality, who wants to win everything. He doesn't just want to be bit part players and just get into the top four for the sake of it. So it may be that he outgrows us before we outgrow him. I don't know. But in terms of this game, I think it would go a long way to appease some of the detractors by getting a decent result here. Is it going to happen? I really don't know. Chelsea will always find a way to play better against us. They hate us more than we hate them, although we do hate them as well. But they probably hate us more than we hate them. They've got this rivalry that's been built up. We've got to make sure we don't fall into that trap of getting sucked into the kind of kicking and all that sort of stuff and getting players sent off, because they will definitely go for that, because the dark arts seem to work. But we've got to keep our heads and we've got to play our game. Now, I've heard that Werner's out and that Davies is out. Well, Davies is a bit part player anyway. He's been a bit part player, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure that he would ever be a first choice into this game. I think it will probably be Emerson that will come in. I can't see him going with Radu and Van der Ven going left or anything like that. I think he'll probably go with Emerson now that we know that Porro is back. Werner as well, apparently he's out now. Again, I know people are going 15 million. It's a bargain, and you know he's been decent. He's got a couple of assists and a couple of goals and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but I'm yet to see him set the world alight. I still wouldn't put him in my starting 11 as an out-and-out starter all the time or anything like that. For me, this game, I'd like to see Sonny go left. I'd like to see Richie come back in. He showed that he's got that hunger in these games. He doesn't always get the goals, but he does give you something. It gives you a bit of a target, which we haven't got. You know, if we're crossing the ball, it's all going low. No one's crossing higher balls, and because no one else can header it apart from Richie in that scenario. You know, set plays may be a bit different. So I think Son will have to come in and have to go left, and that Richie will have to come in and go up top. That for me is makes the most sense. But this is just my opinion, obviously. So yeah, I think that's the calls he's got to make. I guess that Cole Palmer will be back, which is a big blow because he has been, for me, he's been one of the players of the season coming through, one of the young players for sure. Him, Van der Ven, who I think has been brilliant this season individually, and of course Foden. And I suppose you'd have to add Saka into that as well because he does tend to have a great set. You know, he's doing all right in goals and all that. Anyway, I just don't want to talk about him. But I guess my point overall is that, you know, this is going to be a tough game. It's going to be difficult. They're going to fight for everything, and that's just the way it's going to be. Can we get a result? Yes. We're more likely to get a result here than we are to get one at Anfield, if I'm being honest, because generally speaking, the ref will be in the Scousers' corner. Not that I'm bitter or anything. So yeah, I do think we can get it. I think he needs to get his plan right. He needs to get his players in the right mindset. He's definitely got to sort out this issue with Vicario getting bullied. What they're going to do about that? He's got to work on that. And I know he said it's not the only thing he needs to work on. It's not the thing that's going to fix everything. And I get the point he was making. Doesn't help. That's not really what you want to hear. But yeah, so it'll be one of them. I think it's going to be tough. I think ultimately I don't want to bet against my team. I'm never going to predict against my team. So for me, I'm going to go. I think it will be a tight game. Don't think it'll be high scoring or anything like that. And I think we'll beat them by the odd goal. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Spurs. That's what my heart tells me. That's what I'm hoping for as a minimum. But we'll see on the day. But listen, I hope this video was worth doing. I hope you like the idea of me saying how I'm feeling before the game, and I'll give you an update of how I'm feeling after the game. Hopefully I'm feeling a lot happier than I was on Monday talking about the Arsenal game. Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Up the Spurs.